Hello, welcome to Section B. In the last video, I mentioned to you that there was a example for you from prior semesters. It was called Section C, which of course we do not have this semester. But the information in that Section C from prior semesters is very highly correlated with what we have here in Section B. All right, so you might find that more useful for Section B than you did for Section A. But anyway, we just wanted to mention that. Let's get going here in Section B information. You notice here the first thing is Section B should be added to the end of your Section A. In other words, make a distinction between the two. Draw a horizontal line across the page. Make sure put a big heading for Section B or something so it's easy to find the division. But I just wanted to see Section A. I'm not going to grade it again, but see it in case I have information I want to look up back there. All right, number two, on how is this indicator calculated? When you look through some of the comments that I included at the end of these instructions from prior semesters, you'll find one of the biggest mistakes was that, or most common mistakes, I guess, was that people did not put enough information on how it was calculated. Again, you don't do the math of it or anything, but they'd put things like there would be a survey of companies. Well, you need more than that. What's they large companies, small companies? How the survey done? Is it done through paper? Is it done through a standard submission? Is it done through phone calls? I mean, there's a lot more you can put as to how it's accomplished. So make sure you have a lot of information there in terms of details to how it's calculated. Number three here, you need to watch at least one of the graphing videos on Fred or Linda.com. You're going to be doing graphing. You may be real good at graphing or charting things, and if you are, then you won't need to. But for the few of you who probably are that versed in it, that's fine. But for those who are not, you need to look at one of those two things. Let me go to Blackboard and take a look at that, because that's where we are with the information. Now, on Blackboard under Project, of course, you've got the link to Fred. Here's the lynda.com course. It's linked directly into the project area. You can click on that and go there. It's a full course on graphing and charting, so it's very long, but you don't have to watch the whole thing. It's got a table of contents there where you can click on various sections and go directly to those, and reduce the amount of time you want, but still accomplish what you need to do. Now the other one, which is linked, is Fred. Let me just click on that. We've been here before. When you go to Fred, we showed last time under the tools where you had the Excel add-in. Now we're going to have where you need help. When you need help, you can click on that, and there'll be tutorials. All right, click on that, and up here you'll find graphing tutorials. Here's some of the items under that. All right, data and appearance and sharing. In other words, what I'm saying is you can accomplish everything you need to for the course, or for this project rather, using Fred. Now you may want to do that, which should be fine. All right, and you may want to go with the Excel, and there's the reason I think you might want to go with that. It's going to be a little more comprehensive. Plus, you'll be using Excel probably throughout your business career as well as the MBA program, and you may want to say, let me just learn how to be good with Excel and do my graphing there for this course and all that. Plus, you may have experience there. But if you don't, and you just want to use the Fred graphing approach, then go ahead and just cover it here. But you're going to need to probably, most of you, look at least one of these in order to get your graphing quality down, to get the change the number of observations, multiple observations on the same graph and things like that. Okay. Now the other thing here under 3, I say 10 to 15 years of data. It doesn't have to be exactly that. You can have a little more than that if you want to. I put that because you need a long enough time period over a couple economic cycles, which we've had here with, the change in the economy in 2007 and 8 and all that kind of stuff, and some other things. But anyway, I want you to be over a couple cycles. You can go further than that. For example, if your information is provided monthly, you may say, well, I could get more observations by going more than that. If it's something that comes out weekly, it'll be hard to go longer than that and have the charts visually appealing, because you're going to have things so crunched together, so many observations, you won't really be able to see the movements in the curves because it's too tightly packed. So that's why I kind of use that. But again, use your discretion. If you want to go longer than that, I wouldn't accept it shorter than 10, but you want to feel like you can go longer than 15 and still make a good visual presentation, that's fine. Now for B and C, you're doing graphic and narrative comparisons. B, you're comparing your chosen variable with the variable you had in section A that you said it should be compatible with. So we want a graphic comparison, and we also want a narrative comparison. In other words, discuss your graph basically. What'd you find? What'd you see? What's been observed? And how do they relate? All right. Notice there I've got you should do a correlation coefficient between these variables. That's easy to calculate if you've got the data downloaded, which you can get it downloaded, of course, through Fred. We've already shown that. And do a correlation. If you haven't done correlations, it's easy to find. Just look under the help button on Excel and search for finance functions. And one of the finance functions will be a correlation. And it's just an easy matter of typing it in and highlighting the appropriate columns. Same thing for C. The only thing is with C is I'm asking everyone to compare it with GDP, gross domestic product, because almost every economic variable has some relationship to that. So I'm saying I want everyone to do that and talk about how it relates to gross domestic product. All right. The last thing on here is look at the latest value of your indicator and discuss what it's implying for the near-term economy. In Section A, you talked about how it should be related to the economy. And now here I'm saying, okay, what's the latest value and what is it implying about the economy? You should be able to find that number because, again, in Section A, you had to give a website where the latest value is located. So all you have to do is go there and look at that number and of course, kind of see where it's trending or whatever the case is based on your other information and draw conclusions. Is it positive, negative, indifferent? What's it telling us about where the economy is going in the short run? Okay. Don't forget the reference page there, number 5, and formatting information is provided there in 6. So anyway, that kind of gives you a couple things I wanted to add to the written instructions. If you have additional questions, let me know and we'll take care of it. All right, work hard and do a good job.